everybody. Welcome to the second FM Sometimes Weekly podcast.
At this point, I don't think we can call it FM Weekly. Let's think of a new name right here on the spot. FM.
It's already a game show.
Whenever we can.
Well, anyways, like we're trying to say, it's just the Funky Monkies podcast. It's our channel's podcast that we do every so, it could be once a week, twice a week, or once every 2 weeks. It's just whenever we're able to sit down and record.
It'll be unexpected, like Kansas weather.
Exactly. It could be, raining, snowing, 70 degrees, all within the hour. Tornadoes arise.
Exactly. Can't forget about tornadoes in the Midwest.
Do you remember that tornado that hit like a month ago?
I do.
Dude.
So I was in downtown KC with my internship, and a bunch of us, we actually got on top of the parking garage that we had over there, and we were watching the clouds, and I guess the tornado really follow its path.
Mm-hmm.
Like a couple of the idiots that I was with up there, they were all hoping that it would kind of come towards us.
What? Why?
So most of them, I guess a lot of them were from the Midwest, but I don't think many of them had ever seen a tornado or even been like remotely close to one.
See, I've seen a few. They ain't nothing to fuck with. Like,
no, yeah.
Like
there's a common joke about Midwestern people pulling out lawn chairs and beers and going to watch a tornado, but those are jokes.
Yeah, it's nothing. It's like right now in Florida, that hurricane's coming through. Hurricane.
That's right, Dorian.
Dorian, yeah, and that thing's gonna fuck a lot of shit up. So,
well, aren't they saying that they don't really know its path?
That's what I'm saying. Well, yeah, but they said it's gonna be one of the most powerful hurricanes to ever be recorded.
That's nice.
So you don't know. One, you don't know its path if you're saying that, and two, it's one of the most powerful hurricanes. Like whatever it hits, it's gonna get.
We should nuke it.
That's the American way. It's American threat. Nuke it,
exactly.
sir. It's weather. Nuke it. But oh man, but no. So I live in Lawrence, and that thing hit in a small town, kind of like south of Lawrence, called Lone Star.
There's a town called Lone Star?
It's like a Williamstown that's right near to Perry, you know what I'm talking about? Or like a Grantville.
Just a small township.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Lone Star.
And
that sounds badass.
Yeah. Well, it hit there, and then it started traveling straight up, and its original path was going to just tear right through Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when it hit where Clinton Lake is, like that little stretch of Highway 59, it then followed 59.
Mm-hmm.
And then it went around the movie theater, and it went around, and when it did, for a split second, it started to come up like it was going to go down Iowa Street.
Yeah,
and I'm sorry I'm naming these streets off for people who don't know Lawrence, but look at a fucking map. Basically, if it would have went down, it would have followed the path of Iowa Street and went straight to KU.
Yeah, I was at a car dealership that was in that area, and they were talking about how they were really worried because everything projected that it was coming to hit them.
Yeah. So
all of their inventory on their new cars would have been completely wiped out.
Oh, would have been fucked. Absolutely fucked.
Would have been horrible.
Well,
and I'm deeply saddened that, KU still has schools. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Mr. College student. But no, so Cheyenne and I, we had to go to the courthouse because she had to get her Kansas temp tags on her new car. And so we're there, we got them, cool. We're coming home and it's like not bad outside,
This was on that day?
On that day.
Oh.
And it's not like that bad outside. It's like, oh, okay, it's gonna rain, okay. Well, we already got word that there was a tornado that was gonna hit, but it was gonna be over more near Manhattan, but kind of head this way, but it would never reach us, is what they're saying, and it didn't. So we're like, okay. So we get home, and about 11 minutes after I sit down, you just hear, and I'm sitting there like, what the fuck is that, Cheyenne? It's like, is that Is that the tornado sirens? And I could barely hear them, so I'm like, I don't know. Like, honestly, I was like, I don't know what the fuck that is.
In KC, where we were, it was, so there's the building, and then maybe half a mile away from us is where, like, the big highway was. I think it's 60 something. I don't know. I'm geographically challenged. But one of the main tornado sirens was on the highway.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was crazy loud for us.
Well, so I'm sitting there like, okay, well, I guess it is. Like, you know, I honestly didn't think it was at first. And I'm saying like, well, maybe it is. And we're sitting there. Nothing's happening. And then her phone starts going off. My phone starts going off. There's a tornado touching down. Her dad calls. My mom calls. Yeah. And they're like, hey, you guys need to take some cover. And we're like, oh, shit. And so we go into our bathroom. We live, luckily...
You guys are kind of like below ground, so...
Yeah, we're like... So it's a three-story apartment, but we live on the first floor, but our first floor is below ground, so we're pretty much in a basement type thing. And we were in our bathroom. It's me, her, and our dog. And luckily, our dog Trooper, he wasn't freaking out or anything. He was, you know, just like, oh, we're hanging out in the bathroom now. Okay.
I can imagine that my dogs would probably be barking their minds out. One of our boys' his name's Zeus, and we found out about a month after he was born that he barks whenever there's thunder.
Hey, man.
So it was really fitting.
Yeah.
It was really on the nose.
That's funny.
Yeah.
We were just sitting there. All of a sudden, we're listening to the radio. Now the radio plugged in the other room, like turned up. By this time, everybody's leaving the apartments, going to the storm shelters. Well, one, I don't know where they're at in Lawrence. And two, I live down here. I'm not going to leave my dog because you couldn't take your pets. I'm like, fuck that. If I want to die, I want to die with my dog. Like, you know.
I mean, it's very.
It's probably not
but
it's probably not the smartest thing, but like that, you know, he's family to me.
Yeah,
it'd be, you know.
I would do the same exact thing with all three of my dogs.
Exactly,
I would not leave them.
Like I morally could not leave my dog.
Yeah, and
I know Cheyenne would never let me leave them, and I would never leave them. So we were like, okay, well, we're gonna stay. Everybody starts leaving, and now this is when it starts getting bad.
Yeah,
wind starts picking up. I mean, I'm watching. However strong the winds were, man, it was.
See, I'm curious to find out what it was like that day for you, because in Kansas City, all we got was rain, sirens, and maybe a little wind.
We got all that, but like times like 1,000, and plus the worried sum of like, fuck, is this thing gonna come through here? Because it went over by Haskell, which is just down the street from us. It went right by there, like it followed that path. So we were probably less than 5 miles away from it. You know what? No, I'd even go less than probably 3 miles away from it, because Haskell ain't that far away from us. So if I was to stand outside and there wasn't any buildings, I would have been able to see it. Like, and it would have been close. So it all goes away. Everything's good. Well, our power had went off before it hit. Oh. That's probably like, I don't know, probably like 9 o'clock, I'd say. At 2 o'clock in the morning, the power finally came back on.
Wow. Yeah,
it was very hot and miserable, because when it went through all that rain, it wasn't like a cold rain, because it was warm that day. Because, you know, make a tornado, you have to have warm weather and then a cold front, and just kind of...
Oh, wow, I didn't know this. Good old meteorologist Deek over here.
Hey, man, I know some things, but it's something like that. It's like a cold front that comes in with like a warm front, and it just hits each other. But like, so all that rain just was humid. Oh god, it was bad. Well, and plus the apartment, it was like over 80 degrees already, with it being pretty hot outside. So I'm sitting there like, fuck. So I tried to go to sleep. I couldn't. My phone's about to die. One of our wrestling friends that live here in Lawrence, he posted on Facebook, hey, my power went back on. Like 2 seconds later, ours just kicks on. We're like, oh, thank God. Well, before we, went to bed and all that, we had went out after it left, and we were going to cook dinner. Well, now we can't because there's no power.
Yeah.
So my mom met us, and luckily she was able to, loan us some money so we can go get something to eat. And then we went driving around. Just a bunch of.
This is after the fact, right?
This is like right after the tornado left, and we were like in the clear.
Okay. Don't go give me a heart attack.
Yeah, we left during the tornado. But no, Fuck, where was that? Oh, so we started driving around. There's just a bunch of tree branches down and everything, and it was just like, wow, everything got fucked up. Well, the next day at work, I don't work at this place anymore, but Cheyenne still does. Next place at the factory I used to work at, I had a guy come up to us, and he's like, man, did you see the tornado last night? And we're like, yeah. And then we were like right by it, and he goes, man, my daughter was in the movie theater, and apparently they opened the door to look outside, and it was like right there, just right there. Yeah, they said you walked outside, it was right there, and he goes, this is the most scary it's ever been. I mean, like,
why
like,
would they?
I don't know if they actually did open the door. I think they said
just being dramatic about it.
Yeah, like, you know, if you open the door, it's right there, and it would have been right there. So think about that. Like, a loved one is just sitting there.
I'd rather not think about that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. So he's like, oh, but the saddest part was one of our fork truck drivers. So when the tornado left Lawrence, it went up and kind of hit by Eudora. And it went right through his neighbor's house, his other's neighbor's house, tore up some of his house, and destroyed his barn. Like, just... Yeah. Oh, do you know how big this motherfucker was?
I do not.
It was officially a mile wide.
That's a big boy.
And that's tornado, and like the rain wrap, you couldn't actually see the actual tornado because it was rain wrapped. But all that was a mile wide.
Yeah, where we were in Kansas City, all we could just see was rain.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Just fucking tornado in there, just fucking destroying shit.
Wow.
It's crazy as stuff, but hey, that's why you don't fuck with nature, man. Nature's definitely one thing. You don't try to mess with it.
Yeah, it's stupid when people they think they're tougher than you. Just don't. Get weight off yourself.
Yeah, it's just I don't get it. I don't get some people just like I don't get some people like fucking. So All Elite Wrestling, right?
Yeah.
They just had
big thing coming up.
No, they just had their All Out.
I mean AEW as its whole.
Oh yeah.
Up and coming,
yeah. Though they are premiering October 2nd on TNT on Wednesdays, I believe.
I did not know.
Definitely,
I knew they were coming to TNT. I just didn't know when it was happening.
Somewhere in October. No, I know it's on Wednesdays because they're gonna go up against NXT's getting called up to a USA, and so that's gonna be like the Wednesday Night Wars now. And personally, I don't see NXT surviving it at the end. I'm not saying they're gonna like disband or anything, but I don't think they're gonna be able to beat AEW. But I don't know. We'll just have to see because AEW, their whole thing was they're going to be listen to the fans, and that's hard. That is hard to sit there and completely listen to all the fans. You're gonna have to piss some people off, and you're gonna have to do some stuff that you think is better for business.
I mean, they've already kind of established themselves somewhat, so I think they're doing a good job.
Oh, no, right now they're doing a good job. Yeah. But 5 years down the road, where are they going to be at?
It could be the next WWE.
Hopefully.
We don't know.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I hope that's what it is. But then you also got to think of the fact of, well, what if they don't? What if they start losing the fan base or something? What if they do something that's so like outrageously stupid that it fucks up their fan base? Which I don't think they will. It's all about hypotheticals.
I don't know, because the way that I see people's attitude towards the WWE now is that they're kind of losing interest in it. And
that's what I'm saying. In 5 years,
they need an outlet to go to, and AEW is a good place to go.
That's what I'm saying. But what if in 5 years AEW people start saying
history just repeats? So.
Yeah, exactly. But I hope they do well. It's definitely a company that I strive to work for.
Yeah.
Eventually, I really do want to work myself to get there. Cheyenne and I actually in talks about possibly moving to Chicago to pursue wrestling because there's a lot more opportunity there than where we're at now. That's just kind of where we're at.
You want to go into detail about that? Because I didn't know that about Chicago being a bigger thing for wrestling.
Chicago's a hotbed. Oh yeah.
Are there like a lot of
there's a lot of schools and there's a lot of promotions that run out there and a lot of big ones. Kansas City back in the 80s and 90s was probably the hotbed for that time. Now you got one promotion.
That was when wrestling was like
wrestling was huge.
That was like,
oh my goodness.
like professional sports massive. It is a What I mean by that, it was like NBA.
The fuck
NFL.
you talking about, David? No, I know what you meant.
It was huge. Like regular people were into WWE.
Yeah, like everybody. I mean, fuck, like, sorry if I'm making too much noise, but like Cyndi Lauper.
I think you're good.
Cyndi Lauper. Sorry, I thought I unplugged my mic. Cyndi Lauper. She she was part of WrestleMania. I don't know if you know who that is. She's a singer.
Sounds familiar, but no.
It's like one of the most infamous things that I've seen ever done. But I mean, like, there's been a bunch of people who just liked it. I don't know why I said Cyndi Lauper. I think it's because Shine likes Cyndi Lauper. It's just the first thing that came to my mind. But so yeah, so like a bunch of promotions and stuff, and we're not gonna move into Chicago because while I'm working now, I can actually transfer to another place over there. You know, it's nothing official. We're still trying to figure out the details.
Yeah, figure out all the logistics and how feasible. I think you should definitely pursue that.
Because that will give us a better outlet. Plus, there's a lot more eyes on Chicago. And plus, All Out was just in Chicago.
Oh.
You know, it's one of those things. Not a lot of people are going to run shows in Kansas City because in Missouri, you need a wrestler's license. You need a promoter's license. And wrestlers, I just had to do this because I wrestle in Missouri a lot. You have to get a physical. So this year is 2019. So if you were to get your license now in 2019,
as a wrestler, or
as a wrestler, it covers your you have to do a physical, and that's good until the license renews, and then you have to do blood work every 6 months, and the blood work covers HIV, Hep C, and B. Well, if you do it on an odd year like this year, in 2020, you'll have to renew your license. But when you do it in 2020, you don't have to renew it, which covers the physical and the renewal, until 2022.
Okay.
So on even years, it's every 2 years. But if you do it on an odd year, you have to do it the next year, and then you're good for the next 2 years. But you still have to do your blood work every 6 months. Like, I just got done doing that. So I'm waiting for the results. Make sure I'm clean. But I have to take it to a show that I'm going to be a part of next Saturday in Warrenton, Missouri for American Championship Wrestling.
Is this a big one that you were telling me about? With,
not yet. It's same company. That will be in Hannibal, Missouri, October 12th. Kane and Dr. Tom Pritchard are actually going to be hosting a seminar, and there's rumors that they're going to be active that night. So rumors. I don't know. I hope so, because that'd be cool.
That would be really cool.
Because this would be the first big wrestling thing Kane's done since WWE. Yeah.
Become a governor? Is that
mayor of Knoxville, I believe. I know he's a mayor. But him and Tom Pritchard, they run a school together out in Tennessee. And there's that. But what I was getting to before we went on this tangent is some rapscallion stole. Okay, so Chris Jericho won the AEW championship. Some rapscallion thing. Oh yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Because I heard this is another tangent, but I heard that CM Punk might even be going.
There is rumors. There's actually a video. It's really funny. It's of CM Punk and he's in a ring and he's like trying, because he hasn't been like actually in a ring in like 5 years.
Wrestling. He tried. Did he try? He tried MMA, right?
Yeah, he had 2 fights and got his ass kicked. Which is nothing against him at all. It's just when I say that, it's nothing against him. I wanted him to win. I really wanted him to do good, and there is improvement from his first to second fight. It's just
Batista had that same
thing.
fate.
It's just some people like I can never do it. I can never do an MMA. Oh God, even if I train for a whole year or 2 years, there's no way I can get to that caliber of what they're at.
Those people dedicate their lives to that. So. Because I think the only person that I've seen be successful at both, like professional wrestling and MMA, I think we both know who that is.
Dun. Brock Lesnar. But I mean, Ronda Rousey tried it and she got better. She got better from when she started.
Like her stage presence, she seems very stiff. Maybe that's a part of her character, but
it's because she hasn't done it her whole life. She wasn't around it like all the other wrestlers her whole life. So,
but she could take acting classes. How hard could that be?
It's just some people. It's just like some people can't go from MMA to wrestling.
Yeah.
Some people can go to wrestling MMA. It just happens. It just happens. But
she just doesn't have the personality. I don't think.
I can see what you mean. But she did get fundamentally in the ring. She did get better.
Yeah.
She did hurt a few people, but that's besides the point. But now CM Punk, there's a big rumor that he's going to return. I hope he does because I miss him. But there's a video of him not wrestling, but trying to run the ropes and trying to like climb them, and he's like just failing. It's so funny. It's just like that's like the perfect video to put out. But there actually is one video from like 6 months ago of this promotion up in Wisconsin or Minnesota. It's somewhere up north. He was at the show doing like a signing. Yeah. Because it was one of like the first promotions he actually ever worked. But he did the signing. Well, during that show, somebody in a mask slid in and did CM Punk's finishing move. Yeah. Well, when you look at it, what CM Punk wore earlier that day to the signing is exactly what the guy's wearing. So people are like, "That's CM Punk," and I think it is. So there's that. So I hope he returns. It'd be cool.
Tinfoil conspiracy there, but yeah.
Yeah. But to the original tangent, some rapscallion took and stole the AEW World Title this weekend at the airport. Yeah. So I don't know if it's like,
easy. I know the answer. It's the WWE.
That's what a lot of people are actually saying, because right now they have a thing called the 24/7 title, and it defends anywhere 24/7. And
I saw something like that.
The two main guys that
a bunch of old people were getting shit beat out of them or something. It was so weird.
Well, the two main guys, it's that kind of like go back and forth. It's Drake Maverick and then R-Truth, and there was like a whole bunch of pictures of them holding the AEW title, like Photoshop pictures, obviously. Yeah. It's just like, that shit's funny, but a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's WWE, you know who it is," and all this, but they do have a backup. So it is, to my best knowledge, it is real. Like, it actually did get stolen, because for what I read, there was actual police reports on it. Oh. So it did get stolen.
I don't think you'd want to fake a police report. That
so
sounds stupid.
The good thing is, though, they do have a backup. Okay. In case they never find it. Yeah. But my thing is, if it is like some type of, quote unquote work, or, part of it, I think CM Punk has it.
They could be trying to build up like a backstory for him to make his way in, to the promote. I think that'd be cool. Smart, yeah.
That, or I don't know. That's just like one of the things where it's like, oh, CM Punk has it, but but there's real reports, so I don't know if they're gonna make it. They Chris Jericho released a promo of him in his hot tub. Kind of like, we're going to put the best agencies on it. We're going to do this, that, and the funniest part of it is when he's sitting there and he's grabbing for champagne, and he's just like, "Well, I'm sitting here in my hot tub drinking my bubbly." It's just really funny. But no, Chris Jericho, he's 47.
Dude's kind of old, yeah.
He's almost 50, but he still got it. He still moves. He's still good. I mean, it's good for a 50-year-old can be, but it's Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho's timeless.
Goldust still isn't wrestling.
Dude, man, he is.
Stardust? What? He changed his name a bunch of
What? Goldust? No, it's Goldust, but because he's out of WWE, he has to go by Dustin Reynolds, but he kind of looks the same still. Stardust was Cody when he was in WWE.
That's right, yeah. He had like purple and blue, right? He wasn't gold.
It was purple. Well, he did go gold at the beginning, but it was like, it ended up being purple. And then they had one of the coolest tag teams, and I was like, fuck yes, it was him. I don't know if you know who the Ascension is.
No.
They were like kind of like a wasteland type tag team, right? Like, they just look like they're from Mad Max.
Okay.
And it's like them. It was a tag team, and the leader would be Cody. And I forgot what they were called, but they like ascend into the star of the wasteland or something like that. It was like, fuck yeah, they got something. And then they just completely just were like, no, we're not going to do it.
Yeah.
And then Cody left. Cody asked for his release and then blew up on the indies.
Went up and did his own thing.
Yeah, and I'm like I said, I don't hate on any wrestling. I love WWE. I love AEW. I love just wrestling in general. And I wish more people were like that. I wish more people would be like, appreciate what you got, because, one day it might not be there.
Yeah.
One day people going, oh,
All
I
you have
wish
to do is
I
look
can't
at the
I can't wait for
history.
WWE to fail and all this, but when it does,
Yeah.
you know, what are you
What's
gonna do then?
next?
What are you gonna do then? You know, like they're done. I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of people who are like, oh man, WCW is gonna fail. Like, you know, we're gonna be. Oh, I can't wait till the day. And then when they're gone,
Yeah.
only the top guys, everybody else just kind of floated away. But
You kind of get into a state where it's like a monopoly of just one major company, and they get to make the rules and everything for their own promotion. Because it's not really a challenge. They don't have to really. They already have the market.
that's why I'm excited for AEW to come to TNT is because now WWE's
That's
got
a big
something.
deal too.
WWE's got because the last time WWE had somebody to kind of go back and forth with was TNA.
Mm-hmm.
When TNA before Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan went in, I feel like that was like the end cap of like their best because when they went
They
in,
did some crazy things there at the start, though. 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
I remember seeing, was it the Dudley Brothers? I
Dudley,
think it was
yep.
them, yeah. Because someone, I think it was the bigger guy, he pulled out like a cheese grater from under the ring.
oh yeah, that's stuff they used to do in ECW. Oh yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah,
That's
they
disgusting.
did. Yeah, just yeah.
Wow. Because I think it was ECW, but I saw a clip somewhere where some dude had a pizza cutter or something.
Yep. Oh yeah. There's a guy named New Jack. If you piss him off, he'll stab you. Straight up, just stab you.
Huh.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's fucking crazy.
From there, we head down to sunny Miami to check on the Dolphins at home at Hard Rock Stadium. And at this point, they trail the visiting Baltimore Ravens. The newest Raven, Mark Ingram,
I
with
don't
a
know who the
touchdown
hell that
run.
is.
What? Sorry, David got a call, so I was gonna try to be silent so we can cut it, but he doesn't know who he is. We're gonna
No,
talk.
we'll cut it.
And it's
No,
the visiting
it's fine.
Washington
What's that
Redskins have
awkward
the lead
silence?
in that one. Adrian Peterson, a
I think,
touchdown run.
so I'm pretty sure, so I was in the process of buying a new car,
Oh.
and I think that's who that was. It was a dealership that I think I had to give them my information to look at their inventory, which, by the way, biggest scam out there, because then they keep harassing you with all these phone calls and messages.
Yeah, my uncle, he got a car, and then it's like, luckily that place is actually closed down, so I don't know what he's gonna do now. But they'd always call him and be like, "Hey, you know, it's if you want to, you can upgrade. The new model's out, you can upgrade."
It is a dealer.
It is
Yeah.
nice. Do you need to take a call?
No.
Okay.
So
Spe-
this place, I'll go into detail. I don't mind. But this place, so I don't want to give out their name or what car company that they were there for. But when we went and test drove the car, there was a really strong burning smell.
So that's not good. That's like the first indication that it's like either oil's leaking
Yeah.
or some belt is rubbing.
And here's the thing: even after the test drive,
I'm not a car
because-
guy, but I know that.
Yeah. So I was looking to get a sports car. I test drove a sports car. This thing,
I was gonna ask you what car, but I'll probably give it away.
that would give it away big time. But I mean, I pushed it to how I would drive it normally, like on a day-to-day basis, because how else are you gonna know if you want the car, if you like it?
Yeah, you can't test it under or test it over. You gotta test
Yeah.
it how you would drive it. Yeah.
Exactly. And we get back to the dealer. We go inside, and my mom mentions how she kind of smelled a burning smell, and it gave her a headache, right?
Mhm. Oh yeah.
So
Then
the
that's like-
manager, he looks over to his salesperson, and then they look at me and they're like, "Well, with the way that you were driving," and I said, "What do you mean?" Yeah.
the fuck? You mean going 20 miles? That's what you're doing, but it's just like
Yeah, no, I don't understand.
the way you're
'cause-
driving. Yeah, like like how I peeled out of the parking lot.
Exactly.
No.
No. It was ridiculous.
That
but
that
they really
that
put-
is like first like shit they caught on to us.
Yeah.
Like
No, I didn't understand. We also, when we got there, we stood around at the front for like 10 minutes waiting for someone, because they're supposed to approach you, right? That's
usually
their business.
Usually, yes. I used to work at a dealership.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to say. I used to work at Briggs Nissan in Lawrence.
They got bought out, by the way.
All their things in Lawrence got bought out. That's why I'm not afraid to talk about it, because they're not here anymore.
Yeah.
But there's good aspects about this job, and then there's really terrible aspects. One So it was Nissan, Subaru, and then kind of like in an L shape would end off with Dodge. And Nissan and Dodge have porters. That's what I was. I clean the cars and get the cars to people. And then Subaru would kind of go in between. Well, within like the first month, I was a full-time guy. They fired my other full-time guy and then my part-time. So I'm by myself. And the people that were in Dodge never showed up to work ever. So I went from only doing like 3 cars today to like 18. And I went from like cars bought, cars brought in, cars done with service, everything. And there was one day where with this new boss that came in who was just a dick. I mean, just an absolute asshole. Came in and he wanted us to park cars over by the other lot. We're like, okay. So he gave me this. It was 2016. So it was a cherry red 2015 Mustang.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful car. I don't like Mustangs. I don't like the new, but this was beautiful. I mean, had like 20,000 miles on it. Definitely not driven on a lot. So I was driving that. I want to take my time with it. So I got up there and I'm backing it up because he wants us to back it up.
Yeah.
All right. Everything's good. I'm backing it up. I'm taking my time. Not because I suck at parking, just because I don't want
to be safe to mess up a car.
Well, because the first week I worked there, I had a knife on me, and I was trying to get between 2 cars, and I put a fucking scratch from the tail light all the way to the headlight, and I didn't say anything. I just kept walking. So I didn't do that. It's on a red car too, so you can notice it.
Yeah.
But so I was like, okay, I gotta take my time. As I'm parking, I don't remember his name, but this jackass, the boss, comes over, and he wasn't like the boss. He was like kind of like
just a manager.
Yeah. Comes over, throws that door open. Do you know how to fucking park? Looks at him like all confused. And word for word, David, he looks at me and goes, "You park like old people fuck." And I'm like, what? So I'm pissed. I am pissed. So I took the keys, like, you want to fucking park it? And I chucked the keys down the way, and I left for the day. Like 2 days later, I quit.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
But I just want to tell that real quick. But yeah, they are supposed to approach you. Actually, one of the guys that would do that, one of the salesmen, like, would yell at his salesman if there was somebody standing out there. If he was working with somebody, we go, "Hey, go." So yeah, they are supposed to approach you.
That's exactly what happened though. Like, we were just standing there for 10 minutes, and then we finally talked to this dude who's just blindly sitting at his desk, and we're like, "So is everyone busy or?" I don't get it. Maybe I'm asking for too much. I don't know. Well, but I feel like the car buying experience, maybe you should have someone there to help you along. So,
my girlfriend's dad works at a dealership, and the car that we got the dealership from, the guy we got it from, the guy who helped us, was a great dude. Today, got a McDonald's salad. Opened that bad boy up. Guess what was in it?
Bugs.
You're on the right track.
Worms?
No, it's bugs. A fucking dead praying mantis was in it, and it wasn't like.
It's not that nasty. I mean,
no,
if
it was
like,
decaying.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. Like half his head was gone apparently.
I mean, it's all green.
It's green. It goes in me, or
it's nasty.
But yeah, no. But fuck that person stole the AEW title. Man.
Yeah.
If they did steal it.
Yeah, you're worried about 34 minutes.
Yeah, a little bit longer, but that's okay.
I guess we can. Maybe like 10 more minutes.
So anybody listening, we're kind of not crunching for time. It's just trying to record something real quick. Just kind of shoot the shit. We haven't really shot the shit since like last week.
I think even then we were kind of on a mission to talk about our plans for the channel, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and so it was pretty much just kind of staying what we were going to do. But I feel like once we get a good grasp on it, once we get into like a groove, everything will be good.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Man, what the fuck were we talking about before we got in the car dealership shit? Because it was something after the AEW title.
What was it? Oh, no, I was talking about some weird things that I've seen. TNA,
yeah. That's something to do.
Cheese grater, pizza cutter.
Oh, New Jack.
Yeah.
So, I've never met New Jack, and I would like to meet New Jack. I feel like he has a misconception. I feel like he has a misconception about himself. But there's a thing called the mass transit incident, and hopefully I tell this correctly. I'm gonna try to simplify it down, so I'm not going too much into detail. But basically, what happened was it was an ECW thing back in like the 90s, and they were doing a show, and they needed a worker to help to tag or something, and New Jack was the opponent. And this kid who was working ring crew came up and said, "Oh, I'm a worker, I can do it." One, never worked in his life. Two, was underage.
Oh,
He was 17, I believe.
that is an issue.
Well, they get into the match and they start going, and he's fucking everything up
Sounds about right.
really bad. So New Jack pretty much murders this kid, beats the shit out of him. I mean, fucking stabs him, just fucks his kid up. Because he's like, fuck this guy. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. You know, fuck him. Like, I don't think he stabbed him. He might have. But I know he hit him in the head of the chair a bunch of times. Well, they try to sue ECW, and Paul Heyman was like, no. He told us he was good to go. You can't sue what happens out of the ring. So it never went through. But yeah. But recently, another incident has happened. And I forgot what promotion it was. But I don't know if this kid doesn't know how to work or something, but so New Jack does like a elbow drop with the chair onto the kid's face. Like in his head. Bam. Then this other guy comes off the top rope with a leg drop onto the chair that's on the guy's head. No. Boom. Okay.
Yeah.
Goes for the pin. You know, that would it'd be 1, 2, 3. Kid kicked out at 2. Fucked it all up. And you get in this. It's funny because the video zooms in and New Jack's face is like, this motherfucker. So takes a fucking chair, and instead of hitting him,
it wasn't a bump, it was an actual hit
with the flat part of the chair. He turned it and hit him with like the side of it, knocked him out cold, and he just like fell out of the ring.
Yeah, that sounds like enough to probably crack his skull open.
But sometimes, you know, I probably wouldn't go that excessive, but sometimes there's just people you gotta fuck up, because it's like, if you don't fuck them up, you know, they'll probably fuck you up. That's why I tell new wrestlers, if someone's shooting or, you know, being a dick to you, just get out of the ring. Just get out of the ring, walk away. It's not worth it. And if you have to legit fight out to get out of the ring, do it. But don't make that the first thing you gotta do. Just get out of the ring and just walk away. And a good promoter will back you, because no one's in this business to hurt each other, except for people who have big fucking egos.
It's entertainment after all. I mean, there's no reason to like cause physical harm to one another.
Like we're going in there, necessary. we are hitting each other, we are slamming each other around. You know, accidents happen, but when you go in there and the intention is to hurt somebody, fuck you. I don't mean to get this angry, but fuck off. Like, you don't deserve to be in the sport. Like, no one goes into an MMA bout, even MMA. No one goes to MMA bout going, I'm gonna fucking kill this guy.
They have like genuine sportsmanship. They know that this is a competition.
I mean, so it's not just like wrestling, you know, where you're not trying to go and kill each other. Football, no one's trying to kill each other in football. Andrew Luck just retired. If you watch a compilation of him, he's telling guys good hits and shit.
Yeah. He's probably one of the most, I don't know what word to describe it as, but he's probably one of the most supportive quarterbacks for defensive players of opposing teams.
Yeah. It's like, that's cool, because you got that sportsmanship.
I've seen even Matthew Stafford's done the same thing. Back whenever he first started, I think he was sacked by some Browns player. Then I think that dude ultimately ended up injuring him for that season. But he still complimented the dude. Yeah. Said he moves fast for a big guy. Good hit.
Yeah. Well, there was one hit on Andrew Luck, and he went down, and the guy was like, "Oh, my bad, man." You know, like, maybe drew him. And Andrew's like, "Come on, man. No, it's football. It's football." See, I like that mentality. Now, I mean, he's retired. But it's probably a good thing he retired, because probably was on the way to getting some head injuries. And But week 1 starting soon, so that's cool. Starting this week.
Yeah, I'm ready for that. Because I think the Lions, I mean, I'm not really too focused on it, but I think the Lions are playing the Cardinals. Chiefs? Who are the Chiefs playing?
Jacksonville. At Jacksonville. We got 2 road games in the very beginning. We got Jacksonville, Oakland, and then we're home for
should be Baltimore. Real easy games, I feel like.
Dude, Oakland, I feel bad for Oakland. They should be a fucking powerhouse with their coach and their quarterback, but
Gruden, right?
Yeah,
I think he's had that good of a career in the NFL.
He's taking somebody to the Super Bowl. Could have sworn.
Did he?
Sorry,
He might have.
My knuckles. Yeah, he took Fuck, who did he take to the Super Bowl? I think he took Raiders to the Super Bowl, but he lost to Buccaneers. I think that was the season they took the Super Bowl. So I mean, there's that.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, I guess if you're going into the history of the coaches, then you'd have to look at all other coaches too. Because look at Bill Belichick's teams and his coaching staff.
Yeah.
Like, you get dudes who you think can genuinely lead a team that end up going like 2-14 or
Yeah.
4-12.
Yeah. I'm just excited. I'm excited for, I don't know what week it is, but when Chiefs go up to what the fuck is that? What the fuck's your guys' stadium?
Ford Field.
Ford Field. Yeah, we come to Ford Field. You should put a bet down on that.
I'm not putting a bet down on
Let's
that
put
because
a
I
bet
know
down.
who's gonna win.
Hey man, you never know.
I do know.
You never know.
I do know.
You never
Maybe
know.
back when what was it? When the Chiefs went 2-14.
Hey now. At least we didn't go 0-16.
1 year. Okay.
That's all that
1
mattered.
year.
All that mattered. Don't worry,
Nobody remembers Cleveland.
Well, yeah, because the next year they actually got better, and then it shit the bed again. Well, the whole reason with Cleveland is because they Bud Light put out this promotion. They went 0-16, and they went, okay, this next season, the first win in the regular season, everybody in Cleveland's getting a beer.
That's right, I remember that.
And they had like big coolers and everything, and then once they win, they would unlock them, and you can get a Bud Light. And they tied the first.
Yeah.
They tied the first game, and then they won the second game or lost the second game. I know, like within like the first 3 games they won, and it was like a big deal. They won 7 games last year. They should be good. They got a good offense. That's
In
almost.
Mayfield we trust. Like
Yeah.
Baker's good. He's a really good quarterback.
Oh my goodness! Well, they have about as just as great as offense as Chiefs do,
Yeah.
and a way better defense.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to admit it. Our defense sucks. Bob Sutton kind of fucked us on that.
I think you guys will be a lot better this year.
I hope. I really
Even
do.
next year too.
Well, we shouldn't have been that bad. If you looked at who we had, the star players. I mean, we had Houston, Tabahali, all these great players, and then you couldn't do shit with them.
I mean, I can say the same thing about the Lions.
Yeah, but that's the Lions. Though.
Who do we have? We had Javid Best, who was sadly retired from the NFL because he had a really bad concussion.
Well, that's not
We
good.
had Calvin Johnson, Matthew Stafford. He had a really good line.
He deserved a Super Bowl.
Calvin?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he deserved a
There's
Super
kind
Bowl.
of stories about him near the end of his career where he was kind of...
Dick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'd be too. I mean, that's why Antonio Gates is hanging on with Chargers because
He should ask
he
to be traded.
wants the ring, dude. I would love to have Antonio Gates. For some reason, he has magical hands.
Yeah.
He's gonna tie it in. Gronkowski retired. Have you seen a picture of him?
Isn't he super skinny now?
Dude, he went from like 260 to 220.
That's a big change.
And it's just
And
because
he's really tall, so...
yeah, it's just because he's stopped training like they do in the NFL. It's crazy
Yeah.
shit. Yeah. NCAA footballs had their week 1. KU won their first game.
That's right.
That's all they're probably gonna win. But I'm excited for the next. It's gonna be a rebuild year, so there's that.
Every year's a rebuild year for Detroit. So I'm gonna...
Who's your college team? I would have said you would have liked Georgia.
I don't know. I guess I can pick KU since...
Or did you go there?
Yeah.
Hey, how's the traffic up that way?
Traffic?
Because I know
Man,
it fucking sucks for
They
me.
pissed me off. I was in the parking lot that I paid close to $300 for. God bless you.
What?
Yeah. So...
Like a year or?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
I just did
okay.
it for the semester, but yeah. Close to $300.
Okay.
And the price every year that I've gone has gone up. But I was in for 20 minutes just driving around. And this is a big parking lot. Nothing. Nothing.
That's when you get a big truck and you just drive in someone's car.
Do that.
Someone from out of state. There's so many people from out of state. It fucking pisses me off. I mean, they're just sitting there stopping at every single fast food. It's like, dude, just pick one. Apparently, someone went down the a one-way already, the wrong way.
Doesn't surprise me.
Which you know, I don't really blame them because there's some signs you don't really pay attention to or can't see. So that's fine. I give you one. But when you keep fucking doing it, and there's so many people that keep. There's this roundabouts, guys. Learn about roundabouts, please, God. think I mentioned this in the first podcast. Learn where you're fucking going.
Yeah.
Anyways. But
Also, pay attention to that red triangle. It might mean something. I think, what is it, yield? It's not red, it's yellow, right?
no, there's some that are red. And
Yeah.
But it's like a stop yield. So like it's kind of acts like a stop sign. But if no one's there, then you can kind of roll on through. And it even says yield on it.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That traffic that's on 19th Street, though. I knew they weren't going to get done with that shit. And so
I'm so mad about that.
dude.
6th Street was also closed off over there by Tennessee, too.
Is it?
Yeah.
Hey.
Not anymore. They opened it back up.
Have you been to the new Casey's?
I did not know there was a new Casey's.
Yeah, they built a Casey's in Lawrence finally. So it's over by it's over on 6th Street where the Dollar General is.
I have no idea.
Right. Okay. So when you're coming on, like, if you're going on Iowa towards like 6th Street, and instead of making a left, you make the right to go down to Mass. If you keep going, there's like a lawnmower shop, but like right across the street's Dollar General. Then you got the new Casey's. Fuck, I keep forgetting what used to be there, but they leveled it and put that up.
Did not know that.
Yeah, it's weird shit, but yeah. So people remember, don't fucking steal shit. Don't steal titles. Don't learn how to drive.
Learn roundabouts.
Oh man.
Pay attention to road signs. It's a big one. Yeah. I
People.
think,
There was a wreck today, and I think that made me mad the most. Because it's like they could have been prevented.
yeah.
Alright, well, what time are we at? Yeah, let's look at like a good stopping point. Hopefully you guys have been entertained for almost an hour. I hate to say it like that, but... Well, I'm not like at my usual self. I drew blood today. I donated today, so that was an adventure and a half. A bunch of getting poked with the needle, but it's better than the first time. The first time you did it, they couldn't put my red blood cells back in me, so I got deferred for like 8 weeks. But this time was totally fine. Everything was smooth. So. All right. Well, David, you got any last stories you want to get off your chest? Confessions? Anything?
Dear Father, I'm brought to you to know. No.
Stop trying to find a way to end this. It's really I don't know. It's weird to end a video when you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't
know.
We'll figure one out one of these days. Like you say, guys,
something that's
learning.
nice and easy that we just flow into. I don't know. We'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Please watch out for Let's Plays coming out, for any secret vlogs we might be doing, any random more podcasts. Because like we said, this one can go up, and then the next day another one can go up. We don't know. It just depends on who I can get here to record and what we can do. But yeah. Anyways, thank you guys.
Yeah. Thanks for, I guess, tuning into this second episode of FM whenever we want to do a podcast.
FM almost weekly, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
Sure, we can call it that.
So, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and we will ABC ya later.
You can't end on that. You gotta say, and always remember to stay funky.
And ABC ya later.
And ABC later.
Bye.
Victory in a tough place to play.